homestand continues for number 18 USC. Today's for USC. It'll be Iwuchukwu to jump it at center against Falls. Our officials, Melissa Barlow, Kyle Bacon, and Lord Nimiera. SC has it to start this game. You see a bit of a zone look here from Pepperdine to start this, Andrew.
And that makes it even more important. Got to keep the hands up, especially when you're playing a zone, and rotate well.
Nice cut there by Iwuchukwu. Nearly lost her balance. Just 4 on the shot clock. Trojans got to do something. Smith straight away 3. Can't get the bounce. And rebound fought for out of bounds. Let's see who touched it last. They say last touch by Pepperdine. So SC will have it.
I really love the zone look from the Waves. Really important because that makes USC have to pass the basketball a lot more.
Haven't seen a lot of zone this season, the women of Troy. Here's Davidson coming off that 20-point performance. Nearly had a career high in points and rebounds. Came just short in the scoring category. But the 16 rebounds, she said her most ever in a game at any level is Jones going to get to the line. So London Jones in the starting lineup. Getting to the foul line. Foul charge against Preston, her first team foul against the Waves.
And there's 2 things you can do against a zone. Either you can move the ball quick or you attack the gaps, and that's what London Jones did there. And you got to go up for hands. You got to try to get to the charity stripe if you're USC.
So Jones gets the first foul shot. So Jones in the starting lineup in place of Malia Samuels. And we see this full court pressure from USC. And nearly a 10-second violation. Meanwhile, here's Guinea the other way. Nice feed on the inside to Falk. How about that for breaking a press?
Yeah, and you got to be patient. That's exactly what you do when you are trying to break a press. Stay patient. Know that down the court, you're going to have options if you can get the ball there. And fast break, as I said, playing fast. That's what Pepperdine's got to do to win this game.
Jones going to set up the offense. Iwuchukwu, they swing it around now to Dunn. Davidson was crossing the paint looking for it. Meanwhile, catch and shoot opportunity for Jones. That won't go, and the rebound is off to Preston. She averages 9 per game, which is tops in the West Coast Conference.
And this is where she plays really well, is getting the switch, finding the matchup down low.
And they had a bunny there. Preston unable to get it, though, point blank. Here's the pass underneath, and Iwuchukwu, nice job running the floor. Beautiful lob pass there from Jones.
It was, but it was an even better job from Iwuchukwu, embracing the contact, going up, knowing if I go to the free throw line, that's perfectly fine.
And Smith picking pockets as she normally does. An offensive foul. Wow, tough call there against Kennedy Smith. Santa Maria taking the charge there. And it'll be Pepperdine basketball. First personal charge to Smith.
That's something you got to be wary of if you are USC. Don't really want to get into foul troubles. It's something that a lot of people have pointed out, possibly the depth of USC, what you see beyond the starting 5.
Santa Maria. That slot 3 won't go. And trying to save it there is Falk, able to do so, but Trojans looking to run. Here's Davidson in the front court. Iwuchukwu goes to the left hand there. She's just continuing to grow. Coach Gottlieb talked about that after the game on Tuesday night. And you see Iwuchukwu with 4 early points here for USC.
And it's a matchup you got to keep going down to if you're USC.
And how about Fiso there? Megan Fiso, the 6th-year player. Transfer from San Diego State, getting the bucket. This is a brand new Pepperdine team as Davidson misfiring on the 3 there. Long rebound is corralled by Santa Maria. Just one of 2 teams in all of Division I with 0 returners. A whole new team for Pepperdine.
And it's really interesting that they do schedule USC early to try to get that chemistry as fast as possible.
Led by Katie Faulkner in her 2nd season. Faulkner, former assistant coach at Washington, so definitely familiar with the Trojan program. Under 4 on the shot clock. Underneath, there's Preston right at the doorstep.
Both of these teams late offense in the shot clock, something that wasn't necessarily fully expected.
Davidson, the nice move. Count it. Bucket in the foul for Jazzy Davidson.
Just a great job going to the cup, finding an arm, and going straight into it to get the foul and one. Able to see just a great job from Jazzy. Euro step, left hand, easy off the block and in.
So Iwuchukwu going to head to the USC bench. And we get our first look today at Gerda Rolashetete, the junior out of Lithuania, checking in for the first time.
It's a new addition to USC, but she's played really well in the minutes that she has gotten early this year.
It's been sort of that revolving door, right, at the 5. And in the front court, we're going to get a lane violation here. So Jazzy going to get another opportunity. So wipe away that free throw from the score sheet. So Davidson on the season, still at 9 of 12 from the free throw line. Looking for a 10th make here. They give her a second opportunity to do so. And couldn't take advantage of it. Rebound taken by Bella Green up and off the bench for Pepperdine. Here's Santa Maria, averages 4 assists per game. Quite the facilitator as Green looking to get back door. We're going to have a foul here defensively for USC. Give the foul to Dunn.
You're talking about Santa Maria. She really is another one of those players that plays really well defensively, but as you said, a facilitator, starts the offense, and that's really what you're going to see from her the entire day. But how about that pass from Fiso underneath?
Yeah, it was a good-looking pass there. Here's Santa Maria. Picked up by Rolashetete on a switch. Falk with it. Curling and looking for it is Guinea. Couldn't get it to her. Shot clock under 10. Santa Maria looking for somewhere to go. They swing it around. Underneath now. Turnaround jump shot won't go there from Falk, and the rebound taken by Smith. So nice job by USC defensively, continuing to force Pepperdine into late shot clock situations. Done the deep position there, and she had the little Santa Maria on her back. Santa Maria just going 5-6 there. It's going to be a tough night at the office for her if she continues on that switch there against Dunn.
And it's both of these teams are attacking the switches immediately in this matchup. Obviously, they see that they can do that at many different spots on the floor.
Green against Davidson there. Tough shot for Bella Green, the grad transfer out of West Florida. By way of Australia, one of 3 Aussies on this team. Oi, oi, oi. Here's Smith. Too strong, Rolashetete, and let's see here. They're going to get a defensive foul here against Pepperdine. Give the foul to Green. Pepperdine bench wants an over the back, not going to get it. Lifted this USC program to incredible heights here. You know, it's funny, they were ranked outside of the top 10 to start the season in the preseason poll. Turnover here coming out of the timeout, and Trojan fans were upset. What's up? What's up with the disrespect? And it's just a credit to Coach Gottlieb in which he's brought here that those expectations are there as Santa Maria unable to get the bucket. Here's the hit ahead to Smith. Smith, nice catch in traffic, leaves it for Rolashetete. Her reverse is blocked there. And back come the Waves. Santa Maria, nice cross-court pass. And here's Harmon off the bench wearing uniform number 30 for the Waves. Catches it up high now. Harmon kicks it over to Falk, guarded by Jones. Green looking back door. Davidson handing the passing lane, comes up with the steal. Numbers for USC. Here's Davidson behind the back. The runner, no. But a rebound, Falk. You can hear the oohs and ahs there inside of Galen Center as Jazzy went behind her back there, unable to knock down the field goal.
It was a great idea to get her hand free on the right side. Had the open shot, took the floater, but just left it short.
And a smile from the GOAT, Cheryl Miller, sitting opposite us, watching that move there from Davidson. Santa Maria, 5 on the shot clock once again for the Waves. Done with the rejection. Here's the hit ahead. Davidson in transition again. Davidson, tough shot, a lot of contact, no call. Harmon with it for Pepperdine. Harmon looking for somewhere to go. Finds Green cutting back door. Nice cut. Has that one blocked. Able to get it off the deflection, but she stepped out of bounds.
You can tell Pepperdine right now, not really running sets necessarily, but just playing free, playing just basketball in general. And what I mean by that is not having to worry about plays, finding mismatches, setting picks, and then hitting the back door, which is done so often right now.
Guinea returns to the game. Ivory Finley checks in for the first time for Pepperdine. We're in uniform number 0 in the blue. Pepperdine staying in that zone. Smith with the catch at the elbow. Nice cross-court pass. Davidson a three, and that rattles in. Jazzy Davidson, if there's one part about her game that's been a little bit slower to come, it's been the three-point shooting, but able to knock some down the other night here against Tennessee Tech and gets off to a start with this one here today, as that three is well off the mark there from Falk.
That's just shooting practice from Davidson. She was wide open at the right wing, and that's kind of what happens when you are able to penetrate a zone, get a pass inside to the nail, and then they just flick it out, and there's no really contest there for Davidson. It's something that she has to hit down, and, well, she did.
Jazzy Davidson, the star freshman out of Oregon. Here's Dunn, the transfer from Georgia Tech, off the window. Direct deposit accepted here on Black Friday. We have a stoppage. There was a loose article on the floor in the middle of the paint. Nice job by our officials. Melissa Barlow there picking up. Looked like a hair tie was loose on the floor. Green kicks it over to Guinea. Green, a nice slip. Davidson again, this time with two hands, comes up with the rejection. Jazzy Davidson, third in the nation amongst freshmen in block shots, comes up with another one there.
And it was a great roll as well. It was perfectly done by Green, but Davidson knew she had to slide across from that weak side. She did, and then both hands straight up. Knew she couldn't foul and did it.
SC coming off 15 blocks here on Tuesday, second most in program history. Going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Pepperdine. 1:57 to play first quarter. SC in front of Pepperdine by 7. So it's Pepperdine basketball, but it's going to be just 9/10 left on the shot clock.
That's a problem they've faced really this whole first quarter, is they just haven't had enough time where they've set things up, but then they're having to pull shots from either way long range or somewhere in mid-range with hands right in their face, and they can't do anything about it.
So catch and shoot opportunity. You can't get one dribble with .9. They inbound it, but there's the deflection, and that's the shot clock violation. So not unable to execute there off the inbound. And it's going to be USC basketball.
That's a great job from USC. It's this program as a whole, they really stress the fact of making it hard to inbound the basketball, and they did it well right there.
Pepperdine's found themselves in a drought here. It's gone over 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Nice pocket pass. Jones finds Rola Chatete. And the lead now 9 points here for USC over Pepperdine. And Davidson nearly comes up with the steal there. Finley working against Davidson. The defensive pressure has been immaculate here for USC to start this one. Harmon, Falk with it, 5 on the shot clock. Here's the spin, the kick out, straightaway 3 from Guinea, no. And the rebound carries out of bounds. It'll be USC basketball. The three-point shot has been a huge part of Pepperdine's offense, leading them to this 4-1 start on the season. But so far tonight, just 0 for 3, Andrew.
Yeah, they haven't been able to get anything up that has made, but at the same time, they haven't really had clean looks from 3. That's the problem, and a lot of them are pulled way behind the line as well.
Good point by you. A lot of late shot clock situations for them to go up against as well. Here's Dunn, a high arcing 3. That rainbow, a thing of beauty. Kara Dunn. Would you call it bonus land earlier, Andrew?
Way from downtown. That might have been from Pasadena.
How about that rainbow from bonus land? Largest lead today for USC. Here's the reverse layup. Won't go there from Guinea. And Davidson coming with it. Davidson in the front court. Davidson in the lane and able to get the whistle.
That's just a good job from Jazzy to attack the lane. Knows that there's not really a lot that she could do, but going back to that 3, look at this. It's a great job in what is considered a 2-man game right there, where the pick's set and then Dunn can just pull up right behind it. Knows that she's going to have an open shot, just has to knock it down.
Yeah, you're right. That was from Pasadena. There's some folks who play their games in Pasadena going to be here tomorrow. Big crosstown rivalry on the gridiron tomorrow. USC taking on UCLA. As Davidson at the line, able to knock down the first one. Iwuchukwu going to check in after this foul shot. Shot clock dark here. As Jazzy misses the second foul shot. So Santa Maria going to take her time getting it to the front court. Picked up by Davidson. How about that? Davidson 6'1", guarding the diminutive 5'6" point guard for Pepperdine.
That just shows how good she is at facilitating offense.
Shanahan finds a cutting Harmon. Bodies hit the deck. There's Dunn falling on her wallet. Looking to draw the charge there. Nonetheless, it's a bucket for Pepperdine. And that's going to take us to the end of week when Portland was here. This was back on the 18th. This was prior to them going to South Bend. And she suffered what looked like an arm injury and able to continue to stay in the game and play through it. And has played since, but obviously holding her out today. Here's a deflection and a steal in the backcourt. 2-on-1. Davidson open for three, and that's good. Jazzy Davidson's second triple of this first half. SC by 14.
Both of them wide open as well. That's just the press that USC has, making it hard to get it across the half court and then playing from there. Obviously, Kennedy Smith going straight to the basket, drew the defender, and then threw it to the corner.
Here's Zoe Shanahan, the freshman, and was looking back door for Santa Maria. That pass goes out of bounds and it'll be USC basketball. So you see them looking for those back doors a lot of motion, a lot of movement. As you talked about earlier, Andrew, within this Pepperdine offense.
It's led to quite a bit of turnovers, though. 6 turnovers so far from this Waves team, and that's just from that back door, forcing it too many times.
And Dunn, nice tough shot. And nearly a turn, and is a turnover here for Pepperdine on the inbound. So USC will have the basketball. Up by 16 here. Trojans shooting at 60%. Davidson curling. Iwuchukwu to set the high screen. Davidson at the free throw line. Finds Smith. Iwuchukwu, the deep position, working against the freshman Shanahan and muscles it up. Vivian Iwuchukwu, her third field goal in this one. And she'll be at the line for the old school three-point play.
Yeah, she's perfect underneath right there. USC, they've gone down into the paint almost this entire game. 16 points in the paint right now. You can add another one there, and they're going to keep going there because, well, it's worked.
Iwuchukwu coming off that career high 11 points on Tuesday against Tennessee Tech. And has 7 here in this first half. So Iwuchukwu with 7, Davidson with 9, Dunn with 9 also. Another deflection and a steal. Here's Dunn.
Actually only still in this first half.
And another steal. Kennedy Smith able to get her own there. First bucket for Smith. She's already got 5 assists in this one. But that's her first field goal. And the pressure continues from this USC defense.
The issue, and it's not just with Santa Maria, but it happened right there, is Pepperdine's picking up their dribble super early when trying to get it across. That's just not going to work well. Have to zigzag across the court to get it across. Maybe find someone open, cherry pick a little bit across to make up a little bit more space, but you got to figure something out here.
Pepperdine still looking for his first points of this quarter. They're trying to go backdoor again, but another deflection and steal. Here's Dunn with it. The hit ahead, Davidson, slot 3, that won't go. Rebound tip, Davidson gets her own underneath in traffic and she's fouled. How about that one? Davidson covering all kind of ground to get to that offensive rebound.
Just a hustle play, and that's what all coaches want to see. You wonder why she was the #1 recruit in the nation, and it's right there. She sees that it's not going to make, and then hustles in, jumps up, gets a two-handed head-high rebound.
She's coming off that career high 16 rebounds here on Tuesday. She was asked about it post-game. She knocks down the first foul shot, and she said, looking back on her entire career, right, going back to high school, AAU, what have you, says she's never had that many rebounds in a game. And she comes up with 16 here. And wipe away the free throw. Free throw no good, but a violation called against SC nonetheless anyhow. So Davidson will head to the bench. Jones back in there. Williams in for the first time as Iwuchukwu will have a seat. I don't know, maybe Iwuchukwu is going to grab that spot. You know, it's kind of been a revolving door at that 5 for USC, just trying to find someone to kind of grab that spot by the horns, and no one's been able to.
That's why you've seen not a lot of two big sets, right? That's just something that you don't see all that often, and they're going to try it out here, and we'll see exactly what happens.
We saw some on Tuesday for seemingly the first time for an extended period of time for SC. 2 on the shot clock here, and trying to get off the shot, and a foul here against Smith on the three-point attempt by Guinea. And so for Smith, that's going to be her second personal.
The crowd doesn't necessarily love it, but there was contact that was made on the right elbow as she was going up. You have to be careful. If you're going to jump and then jump a second time after that, especially with your back turned, you do have to be careful of contact.
So Guinea gets the first foul shot. 82% foul shooter on the season. One of the leaders of this team, a sophomore transfer from UNLV by way of Goodyear, Arizona. And these are the first points, Andrew, of the quarter here for Pepperdine.
It's because they've been forcing everything, and USC is playing such great defense.
So Guinea gets all 3. Leading scorer on this team, averaging 17 points per. Green returns to the game as Falk has a seat for Pepperdine. Approaching 7 minutes left here before halftime. Pepperdine falls back into that zone. Jones pointing out instructions as we approach the 7-minute mark. Dunn. Slot 3, that's good. Kara Dunn. The basket is big as the Pacific Ocean for her today. 14 points, she's pitching a perfect game, 6 of 6 from the field.
You just got to keep finding the hot hand if you're USC. She can't miss right now.
Here's Santa Maria. And deflection there from Williams. 8 seconds left on the shot clock for Pepperdine. Davidson returning. And Smith going to have a seat. Kennedy Smith with those 2 personal fouls. She's got 2 points. Has tied her career high with 5 assists here in this first half.
And it's because that's how you break the zone. You find someone at the nail, and it's been her specifically, and then she can pitch it wherever.
Here's Green. She got free, but unable to come up with the bucket. Offensive rebound here, Pepperdine. Green has it. But we're going to get a foul underneath. It's going to go against USC. Foul charged against Dunn. Second personal for Dunn. Second team foul against USC. Dunn maybe a little overzealous there, Andrew.
Just a little bit too much pushing for that loose ball.
Here's Guinea attacking in the paint. Looking back door. Nice find there to a cutting Oreo.
I think that's what Pepperdine must have seen in tape, is the fact that USC can ball watch a little bit too much, because every single offensive possession is for a back cut.
Pocket pass to Williams. Traffic converges out to Jones. 3 off the mark. And the rebound taken by Oreo. Arune Oreo, the Sac State transfer. Here's Finley, triple team, and a held ball there. Mindy's got her hands on it. Possession arrow favors Pepperdine. Ryan Forrestier getting some early minutes here tonight, Andrew. Checking in. Kennedy Smith quickly back in there as well, and Gerda Roll-Shatete off the bench for USC.
Yeah, Forrestier coming off of a career game as well, so you might as well start getting her minutes as soon as possible. She can be a big part in the depth role for USC.
A little push shot there won't go from Green Forestier, part of that incredible #1 recruiting class a season ago. Under 5.5 left before halftime. It's been the first half dominated here by USC. And nice take there from Guinea.
Really was. It was just straight down the lane, right hand off the glass, dropped it through. Patient.
Smith missing on the 3. Forestier the offensive rebound. The kick out, Davidson for 3. She got another one. Jazzy Davidson, her 3rd triple. Trojans now 5 of 10 from beyond the arc. You talked about it earlier, Andrew. Get your hands up. Pepperdine not doing a good job.
No, they're not, but Forestier, a great job. Knows that I can pass up this good shot underneath for the better shot with Jazzy outside.
That's one of your keys tonight for Pepperdine. Be able to get their hands up defensively, and we're going to get offensive foul here. Foul charge to Oreo. 4:35 left here in this first half. This was a 10-8 ball game, but since then, Pepperdine has provided little resistance to USC, and credit the Trojans for ratcheting up the defensive intensity.
It was that run when they had forced almost 4 or 5 turnovers in a row, and they got points directly after that. That really opened this up.
Lindsey Gottlieb wants to talk about it here, and these are teaching moments to start this season. The onus has been put on these guards. Hey, you got to get in there and mix it up. You got to rebound more. And Davidson obviously doing that. Kara Dunn taking on that challenge as well. Malia Samuels too, even although she's absent tonight. Not playing in this one. She's taking on that challenge too. Nice defensive play there from Smith.
Really was a great job, New. Just keep the hands directly up. He already has 2, so you don't want to get another one. Knows that the ball is going to end up coming right toward her, so if she just stays put, Finley will come at her.
And Kennedy Smith continuing to be aggressive despite those 2 fouls. Finley, 3 is long. Rebound tip right into the hands of Jones. Numbers for USC momentarily. Jones the hezzy. Jones the afterburst. Jones getting all the way to the cup. How about the hezzy there?
Just a great veteran play. Slow things down and then speed it right back up.
And Davidson, another block. Her 2nd. One of the top block shot artists amongst freshmen in the country. Smith coming short on the finger roll. And back comes Oreo with it for Pepperdine. Here's Santa Maria, has a lane, the ball fake, and going to get to the free throw line. Foul charge there to Raul Chetete.
It was a great job from Santa Maria, taking all of the space that you can get, because nobody's guarding you, right? You just have to keep going until you draw someone, and at some point you're going to have to go up and shoot it. Knows that if I feed it to someone, they already have someone on them, so I just got to go straight to the cup and get to the line.
Kai Milton getting some early minutes here tonight for USC. Foul shot there from Santa Maria is good. Santa Maria 8 for 17 from the foul line this season. And she gets them both.
And it's really the only way that this Pepperdine team has been able to score in this second quarter.
Yeah.
That was another 2-minute and 20-second scoring drought. You just can't have that against a team like USC. You can't have that against any team, really.
Davidson from the elbow. Pretty shot there from Jazzy.
Just never a doubt. Knew she had open hands, jump shot, pull up, easy.
Finley, bounce pass in the corner to Fiso. Fiso, the nice hesitation, and finishes with the left.
That was a really good play. Shimmied left, spun back around and right, and knew she had a wide open basket to shoot at.
Here's Smith. She's ditched the headband. Pocket pass, Milton.
Another great pick play, something that both of these teams have been doing the entire game. It looks like Pepperdine, though, is starting to run more of an offensive set compared to the free flow offense they had before.
Fiso for 3. That's been a big part of the offense for Pepperdine. but just the first three-point make tonight for them. They missed their first 4. Davidson, Mendez, Dunn, she's had the hot hand. Dunn putting it on the deck. The lob underneath. Milton, shot blocked on her way up, out of bounds, and SC will retain the possession with 14 on the shot clock.
And that's what makes Dunn so dangerous at this point in time, because she's made 2 threes at this point, so you got to close out. But where she really thrives is down low and getting to that mid-range spot. So there's no real right answer to guarding her at this point.
Williams checks in for Mendez. Smith will have it baseline out of bounds for USC. Up by 23. 1:41 left before intermission. Davidson attacking baseline. Whips a pass over her head. Milton, the long 2. No, Williams going up high for that one. Couldn't come down with it, though. Finley, the handoff Fiso. Picked up by Dunn on a switch. 80 seconds left before halftime. Here's Green, goes to the left. Too strong, rebound Smith.
You got to get something going for Pepperdine before you head to the locker room. Just anything.
Milton, one-legged fall away. Too strong, rebound Green.
Maybe at some point you do want to slow things down if you're Pepperdine, set up a play.
Harmon the trail shot, that won't go. And they say last touch USC, Pepperdine will have it. Jones scurries to the scorer's table. Iwuchukwu going to check in as well as Smith and Milton have a seat.
You know what I'm seeing that's interesting, Rashawn, is the fact that despite being down 23 at this point, Pepperdine's only being out-rebounded by 1. Normally you don't necessarily see that.
It's a credit to them and their rebounding prowess. Harmon stops, pops, and gets that one to go.
Lack of communication there from USC on who's going to go on that pick. They both, one said stay, one said go, and it was the wrong combination.
They get a foul here against Williams. Illegal screen set there against Laura Williams, the redshirt freshman.
You can slow down a little bit when you are setting that screen. You know that Jones is told to wait until that screen gets there in order to come over the top of it, because that's the whole play. So speeding into it's not necessarily going to work out too well. You're just going to get a moving screen more called than not.
Forestier back into the game. Jones harassing Guinea there. Fiso. Harmon. Here's Green with it against Forestier. Green backing her down, spins into traffic. The kick out Fiso. 4 seconds left. Guinea, Fiso blocked there by Davidson. Her third of the half. Pepperdine will get nothing to end this first half. Halftime here at Galen Center. In case you're just joining us, no Malia Samuels for USC. London Jones getting the start for her, and there is Jones, the catch and shoot 3. Doesn't go. Rebound is off to Falk.
We'll see if Pepperdine ends up going into more offensive sets so they play free. That entire first half they were playing free, not really going with plays necessarily.
Pepperdine was led by Megan Fiso in that first half. She had 7 first half points. Guinea, the leading scorer, had just 5 on 1 of 4 from the field. Once again, a late clock situation here for Pepperdine. The runner won't go there from San Maria. Going to be a shot clock violation. So turnover number 12 here for Pepperdine.
That was a big issue, is just the fact that they couldn't get anything going early in the shot clock. And I like the fact that they're slowing down and they're trying to find that pass around the arc, but at some point someone's going to decide, I need to go through, I need to penetrate, try to get someone to draw onto me and then make the extra pass.
Pocket pass, Jones. Iwuchukwu finishing with the left, and her perfect day continues. She's got 9 points now on 4 of 4 from the field. She's been impressive, Andrew.
Really has. It's just answering the question of who is going to play the big spot for this USC team down the road into conference schedule.
Nice ball fake there. Long 2 won't go, but the offensive rebound and putback is good from the aforementioned Guinea. So she's got 7 now for Pepperdine. And Davidson going to get right back to the foul line. But SC second consecutive game being able to keep the opponent's leading score to a minimum.
And it just shows how well they can play defensively. A lot of the times you look at this USC team, and when you think defense, you think Malia Samuels pretty much for the most part. And it just shows that even without her, this team is really strong defensively. Obviously anchored by Kennedy Smith, as Lindsey Gottlieb last year said, one of the best on-ball defenders in all of basketball right now, and she kind of continues that this year as well.
It was Reagan Grimes, the leading scorer for Tennessee Tech the other night, and she had just a tough night against this USC defense. Unable to get to her scoring averages on the year, and nearly another held ball there. Instead, they pass out of it, but a turnover. Done with it. Here's Smith across the timeline. Iwuchukwu fighting hard down low. They couldn't get it to her. And a 3-second violation. Wow. They get Iwuchukwu there for 3 seconds.
You said it. They were fighting down there pretty hard, and she was down there maybe getting held a little bit in the paint, but either way, yeah, 3-second goal.
Making a post-Turkey Day sandwich down there, perhaps. Pepperdine attacking this full court press here of USC. Here's Fiso, who had 7 in the first half and gets her first bucket here of the second.
That was a great job embracing contact. That's what you got to do down low. Put a shoulder in, bounce out, and then you can get a little fadeaway.
The 6-year senior transfer from San Diego State. Davidson had 16 in the first half to lead all scores. Looking to go back to work. Cross-court pass to Jones. Nice ball movement here for SC. Shot clock under 10. Jones has a lane. Attacks baseline. Off balance. Gets the roll. London Jones. A little bit of English there to get that one to fall through.
Attacked that baseline, as you said, and just kind of watched it sit on the rim, as did everybody.
Gerda Rawls-Shetete going to check in next time we have a stoppage for the women of Troy. Approaching 7 minutes left here in this third quarter. And Fiso, the nice cut. Oh, hitting her wallet. She got it with the left.
Just a great play. Sometimes you just have to be an athlete on some of those layups, and you just saw it right there.
Fiso now in double figures with 11 to pace the waves. And Dunn, the tough catch, but a whistle and a foul. Foul charged against Guinea. Iwuchukwu exits. Rawls-Shetete returns. Vivian Iwuchukwu, 9 points, 4 of 4 from the field. Impressive offensive performance for her for the second consecutive game. They try to get Davidson through the elevator screen. Nothing doing, so here's Jones. Rawls-Shetete with it now over to Dunn. Kara Dunn had a fine first half in her own right, and that right there going to be her first miss thanks to the defense of Preston. Dunn had made her first 6 field goals in this one. They're going to get Smith there for the foul from behind.
And in the open, we had talked about how Preston was so good defensively, and that's the first time that it's really been shown off today.
Yeah, defense, rebounding, some of her strengths. And here she is with the ball now, Preston. Cross-court pass over to Falk, puts it on the deck. Nice help there from Smith, picking up Falk on the switch. Preston trying to hand it off to Fiso. Here's the 6-year senior. That one blocked right back in her face by Rawls-Shetete. 6th block shot for USC today.
And another time that Pepperdine's going to be super low on the shot clock. They just have to get something, try and find something open off the inbound.
For Rawls-Shetete, her first block. 4 on the shot clock. And underneath, maybe too far underneath there was Guinea. And it's going to be USC basketball.
It's a good look underneath, but maybe would have preferred to go outside and then drive from possibly one of the corners, because when you get caught underneath like that off an inbound pass, you're going to have at least 2 people right in front of you, and that was just the case right there.
Smith over to Davidson. Davidson attacking baseline, pulls up for the mid. He can't get the roll, and the rebound's off to Preston. And for Preston, just her 2nd rebound in this one. We talked about her in the pregame, Andrew. Preston, nice seal. She had the little one, Jones, on her, and able to take advantage Preston averages 9 rebounds per game, which is tops in the West Coast Conference. Comes up with a block there, but a foul. Foul charged against Preston there.
Preston was saying on who. She was a little confused. She thought she got all ball. But a foul nonetheless. And this is a USC team that doesn't necessarily shoot free throws extremely well. And I say that they're 255th in the country in free throw percentage, shooting 65%. This is a team last year that shot free throws really well. So just the identities kind of just changed completely entirely. And that's not something you necessarily want, is struggling with free throws.
Katie Faulkner arguing, saying, you can't call that. And Melissa Barlow, the official, saying, yes, I can. And those two have a conversation. But Faulkner, of course, not happy with that foul call as Rose Chatete knocks down the foul shot. So Rose Chatete is able to split the pair there and a turnover, as Preston threw that one right into the waiting arms of Coach Faulkner.
They're saying it quite a bit, and they just still haven't figured it out.
Falk called for a foul away from the basketball. The junior from Germany. 5 different countries, international countries represented here for this Pepperdine squad. Players hail from Canada, Romania, Germany, Australia, and Spain. I mean, when Coach Faulkner reassembled this roster, she went all over to do so. Smith unable to get the 3. They're going to get Mendez here. Ranked team in the country has definitely shown its defensive prowess here in this one this afternoon, Andrew.
They have, and it's in transition as well that they've just played so well. You can see the full court press. Pepperdine has had 0 answers so far with it.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding for Pepperdine. There's Santa Maria splitting the D there. And a high arcing 3 won't go from Guinea. And another rebound here for USC.
It was a great closeout from Smith, just jumping up. Didn't necessarily have any intentions of blocking it, but just having the hand up in the eye range of the shooter just makes it so tough.
Davidson using the Rose Chatete screen. Nice roll, beautiful find from Jazzy.
That's exactly how you execute a pick play to perfection. You see, are they going to stay? Are they going to switch? Oh, they both stay. All right, bounce pass down low.
Second helper for Davidson tonight. Kennedy Smith with 7, which is a new career high to lead everybody, in case you're wondering. Approaching 4 minutes left here in this third. Harmon picked up by Rose Chatete on a switch. 5 on the shot clock. Harmon picks up her dribble, throws it to Mendez. Trojans coming the other way. They've got numbers. Here's Rose Chatete in the open court. Rose Chatete lays it up and in.
It's what a play, going from one side to the other. Gets the steal, and then the team as well pushes all the way down. A great job. 7th point of the night for her.
The 6'3" junior handling it in open space. 24-point lead here for SC. 3.5 left here in this third. Smith nearly came away with another steal there. 7 on the shot clock. Guinea against Rose Chatete. Blocked from behind, but a whistle and a foul. They're going to get Rose Chatete there for the foul. Her second personal, 3rd team foul against the women of Troy. Forrestier returns to the game for SC as Kennedy Smith heads to the Trojan bench. Oreo going to check in. Looks like she'll be checking in for the shooter Guinea for Pepperdine. So Guinea at the foul line to shoot 2, and the first one rolls off. 82% foul shooter on the season. 2-time state champ out of the state of Arizona. Wants to get into healthcare or sports science once her playing career is done. Able to get the second one here, and she'll head to the Waves bench as Arune Oreo, the senior out of Spain, transfer from Sac State, re-enters this one. It definitely is Kids Day, because that we just here is Kara Dunn getting the layup there. the Frozen theme song just played. I mean, everybody just went crazy.
It's SpongeBob earlier as well.
I missed the SpongeBob. I definitely heard the Frozen. Here's Green with it. Tried to cross over, dribbled it off her toe. Dunn goes on the deck to get it, lost it. Goes off the head of Green. Ball still loose. Body's all on the deck. Green has it now in the corner, and we're going to get a foul. Ain't time left in this one, but it's maybe one of the best, if not best, defensive performances we've seen from this USC team this season. 2.5 left. Long three. Won't go. Grazes front rim, but the long rebound goes to Santa Maria. Tries to turn in the corner. Gets Rose Chatete. Does and goes high off the window. You see the slight edge there in second chance points for Pepperdine. That goes back to the old boards, right, Andrew? And this rebounding continues to be a thing for SC, or lack thereof.
Pepperdine's out rebounding them right now by 4.
And they're going to get done here for another one. Offensive foul as Santa Maria went flying there. That's the 4th personal against Dunn. You can see the frustration from the grad transfer.
And frustration that's kind of justified. She has 16 points, 7 for 8 shooting. She's having a great day, but has to sit because of foul trouble.
She got off to that hot start, made her first 6 field goals, Andrew, but got called for a couple of tough fouls here in these last couple of minutes. Here's Santa Maria working against the full court press of Jones. Uses the green screen. Green wants it down low. Double team comes, shovels, and Oreo can't get it. Rebound Mendez. Jones, the hit ahead, Forestier lets it fly. And that one won't stay down for Forestier. Had a good look at it. And meanwhile, Finley back the other way. Finley attacking against Jones off the window.
When I was talking before the game about the fact that the Waves need to move quickly, that's what I meant in transition. Not necessarily hurrying and trying to shoot a 3, but pushing it to the basket.
Nice back door, and Smith gets it. Gottlieb upset. Wanted a foul there as Smith hit her wallet. And Kennedy Smith now, her 2nd field goal tonight to go along with that career high 7 assists. Under a minute left here in this 3rd. Harmon attacking against Williams. Williams is giving SC some good minutes tonight. Here's Harmon, forced into a tough shot there by Williams, and Forestier the rebound.
Going on to the fact of Kennedy Smith, everyone was looking for who the facilitator of this USC team really would be. Yeah. And it's kind of grown into her. Obviously, she can attack, but the fact that she can dish out to Jones and find those open threes is really important.
On her with the injury to Juju Watkins about picking up the scoring load. 2 seconds left. Harmon to beat the buzzer well short. And that's how we'll end this 3rd quarter. But maybe that step for Smith is in the facilitate. Davidson does a great job at corrections, right? Correcting her mistakes. And not that you want to make mistakes or that she makes a ton of them, but she does a great job initially learning from that mistake and bouncing back from it. And that's been huge as she continues to get her career going at this new level for her. People, the expectations on her, sometimes it's hard to forget she's just a freshman, folks. As London Jones fouled underneath. I mean, this is game number 7 in her career, right, at this level.
That's what I was about to say is freshmen are going to make freshman mistakes. It doesn't matter if you're the #1 recruit in the country. There's just some things that in college basketball you're not necessarily ready for. And that's one of the biggest parts is if you are a #1 recruit like she is you have to figure it out quickly, and, well, she has.
And continuing to grow, which is a scary thing, right? Like, at first it was like, okay, the 3-point shooting hasn't come yet, but we've seen her take a step in that direction these last couple of games. And, I mean, the block shots, my goodness. I mean, she's leading SC in practically every major statistical category as a freshman. And here's Kennedy Smith doing Kennedy Smith things. Shovels, Mendez And a foul there against Finley. Smith looking for her 8th assist there. Instead of Mendez going to the foul line.
The one thing with Jazzy that has started to come a little bit more is, in my opinion, consistency, and that's really the next big step for her. I'm just looking specifically at that NC State game. First half, she had 3 points in total. Third quarter, 16 points. Fourth quarter, she had 2 points, and it was the game winner. So just that consistency, obviously 21 points, you're always going to love it, but maybe a little more consistency all across the board.
Mendez at the foul line, unable to get the first one. Diana Mendez, the transfer from Washington State, first missed free throw this season. She was 2 of 2 prior to that. And going back to your point, Andrew, I mean, that's what separates the good from the great, right? It's that consistency, right? Like, yeah, you can have a 20-point game, but can you do that every night, right? And you heard the late, great Kobe Bryant talk about that so much. You hear the likes of Carmelo Anthony and others talk about that, right? I mean, it's, getting up those shot attempts every night. People think it's glamorous, right? It goes back to that old thing, the ball's not heavy, but like, if you're looked at to be able to do that every single night, right, that could be burdensome for some, right? And that's what separates the good from the great, being able to replicate that, to be able to do that time and time again. I remember covering Mike Sosha, the former Angels manager, and he talked about that with pitchers, right? Being able to repeat pitches. That's what separates the guys at the major league level from AAA or AA or whatnot. Being able to repeat pitches and make those and be able to get those across 4 strikes.
That was something that you saw from Juju as well last year. If things weren't going well, she'd still find ways to be able to get those points. Even if she couldn't get it through the mid-range, she'd be able to find them from underneath. She'd be able to find them from 3. So it didn't really matter if she was having a good or bad game. She'd always be good for 16, 17 points in a game.
How about Santa Maria? Unable to get that one, though, high off the window. It's going to be a wholesale changes coming up here for USC. Almost a line change. Forestier in the corner for 3, and that's good. 66-41 our score. Forestier's been looking for that one all game, and she finally got one to go. As we reach the 8-minute mark here in this 4th. And here's Forestier with the rebound.
She's played really well defensively as well this entire game.
Forestier, the crowd wants another one. Will she give it to him? Oh, in and out. Insomnia.
That is her role, is that 3-point shooting kind of area, not necessarily that you would have seen from Avery Howell, who got a lot more minutes, but that theoretically is what Coach Gottlieb would want from her as she moves on in her college career. Be that spot-up shooter that can really put the dagger in at any point in time.
6 on the shot clock. Here's Finley putting it on the deck, and no bucket there, but a foul. They're going to get Jones for the foul. Brooklyn Shamblin in for the first time tonight. Milton, Davidson, and Dunn return for SC. Forestier, Mendez, Williams, and Jones all exit for Lindsey Gottlieb's Trojans. Ivory Finley, the grad transfer from Utah State, 3 for 6 from the free throw line on the season at the stripe. The lefty foul shot up and good. Hails from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Former Mountain West Scholar athlete. Bounced around a bit, 2 seasons at Utah State. Played her first 2 seasons at UMass Lowell. She was an all-rookie performer. Now here with Pepperdine amongst this group of newbies, if you will. Brand new roster for the Waves. All 12 players new this season. 4 freshmen, 8 transfers. Nice lob, Smith, the beneficiary. Jazzy setting the table there.
That's just a connection that you're not really going to see in a lot of other places, especially in this day and age. We were talking about how Pepperdine, a brand new team. You're going to find new players all over the place in transfers, but with a brand new team in Pepperdine, it's really interesting to see how they end up gluing together, how they end up bonding, especially with players all over the United States and then all over the world as well. It's just so different seeing how these players connect and how the game kind of evolves, because basketball is played different in different parts of the world. So seeing how they kind of bring it together in the free flow offense that's worked well for them so far this season, and how it's going against USC just hasn't necessarily worked, but still they're a very good team.
Smith with the catch and shoot three there. Brooklyn Shamlin gets called for the foul. And I mean, basketball definitely is a universal game. And college basketball has become more of an international game as well. You're starting to see a lot. I remember people talked about St. Mary's and Randy Bennett. He would have all those Australian players, that that Australian influence. But you're starting to see more of that spread throughout the NCAA. And Pepperdine, an example of that. I mean, look here, Gerda from Lithuania,
Exactly.
right?
It's fun to hear the recruiting on how that goes as well, because you're literally getting people from all over the world. So what's the balance of, staying in your backyard, staying in LA, going to DMV, that kind of area, and then, well, how far around the world are you going to find your talent as well?
I tell you what, the recruiting budgets must be growing. Here's Dunn in traffic, the kick out Smith, one dribble pull up. No, Milton snatching the board, couldn't finish. 71-43 our score. And Green had to save that from going out of bounds. And Guinea's like, look what I found. Preston for three. Back heel, rebound tipped into the hands of Shamblin. Milton running the floor, they couldn't get it to him. Dunn for three. And rebound Green.
That's really just a rare miss from Dunn so far in this game. Only her second miss, the first one from three as well.
This game 2 of a 6-game homestand for USC. They're able to knock off Tennessee Tech here on Tuesday. Here's Green against Shamblin. The drop step, now on the cross-court pass, Preston. Attacking Preston, and they're going to get a foul called here against Kenna in the booth. And the rest of our fantastic crew here. Of course, you, Andrew. Alana rocking the sidelines. I would have paid good money for something like this when I was in school.
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, every single day, you're just so grateful that you're able to come out and do this.
There's Preston at the free throw line. The JC transfer misses that second foul shot. Rebounds off to Davidson. And so St. Mary's on Tuesday. That'll be the last non-conference game before getting into Big Ten play for USC. They'll open it against Washington here on December 7th. And then you got UConn in a non-conference affair, and then back in the non-conference against Cal Poly and at Cal. And then once you get to the end of December, you're rolling with big play as Dunn gets the shooter's touch there. Kara Dunn. It's a 30-point lead here for USC.
We're talking about those two games against both of the Huskies, right? Washington and then UConn. Those are huge games to start conference play, going up against Avery Howell as well, a former Trojan at USC will be. And then UConn, #1 team in the nation, is returning a lot of great players. And then you're going against another former Trojan in Kaylee Heckel, who is still getting good minutes over there, but you got to worry about Easy Fudd, right? You got to worry about Sarah Strong, a lot of the returners that won them the national championship, obviously, last year.
Yeah, I mean, the defending national champs have looked every bit the part, and it's remarkable when you consider that Paige Becker's no longer a member of that team. She went on to accomplish some great things her rookie season in the WNBA. But you're missing such a key piece like that. I'll tell you what, Sarah Strong is as good as advertised, folks. She is incredible. And you talked about Fudd, but Sarah Strong is like that, folks.
Really good.
If you have not had a chance to see her, you definitely want to pull up a chair. Her mom, the great Allison Feaster, former LA Spark, played her college ball at Harvard. We have a foul underneath here against Shamblin. 3:08 left in this one. Very interesting. You've seen a lot more conferences do this throughout the country. They'll give you like a conference appetizer, so to speak, in like early to mid-December. You may play like 1 or 2 conference games, and you kind of go back to your non-conference, and then you get and then you get in the conference, and then you're rolling. But we've seen that kind of throughout the country with some conferences sort of doing that. Very, very interesting way to sort of start your conference season. And Guinea now with 12 points, leading scorer on this team, averages 17 points per. She's up to 12 and has really had a fine or much improved second half. Had just 5 points in intermission. Foul charge against Preston. This is a Pepperdine squad that will be looking to go back to work against Cal Baptist. They'll return home to the Firestone Fieldhouse to take on Cal Baptist on the 3rd, which is Wednesday. And they'll continue to be without Quinn Van Sickle, who's out for the 3rd straight game with an undisclosed injury. But Pepperdine playing in that historic Firestone Fieldhouse. It's 51st and final year. They're going to be moving into a brand new state-of-the-art facility right there on campus called the Mountain at Muffin Park. It's going to open next season. 3,600 seat venue. A lot of memories inside that Firestone Fieldhouse for Pepperdine. The basketball programs, of course the volleyball programs as well, who've had a tremendous amount of success. Oreo will be at the free throw line. 74-48 our score. Trojans now in the penalty, Andrew. That last foul was charged to London Jones.
And Oreo getting to the line. In the past 4 games, she actually hadn't scored. She went 0 for 12 from the field. Started off with 6 points to start the year and then kind of just teetered off since then. Obviously not excited with the 0 for 12 from the field, but today moved it up a little bit, up to 4 points and 1 for 3 from the field.
Forestier. She got another one. Second triple. Tying her career high from the other night, Andrew.
You can tell it was just designed directly for her, coming all the way across, and it was right in front of Coach Gottlieb. She had the 3 on her fingers already pointed up before it was even caught to shoot.
These are good moments for a lot of these players who may not be key parts of the rotation, right? But you go throughout the course of a season, here's the 3 off target there from Harmon. You never know who you're going to need, right? And this is film that coaches can always go back on, as Mendes will try a quarter 3. She got it. First field goal for Diana. We approach 90 seconds left. Coaches can pull up this film. You get later on in the season, look, you've been here before. You've done this before, right? And give you some confidence going forward. And a nice take there from Falk, but she left it just short. As we approach a minute to play here in this one.
It's really important that Pepperdine had this game early, because games like this, especially when your team might not necessarily be as close chemistry-wise, really does bring you together. You're playing against a team who was extremely strong last year. The 18 next to USC's name doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad program. They're really, really good, up with some of the top teams. Beat NC State, and then South Carolina didn't necessarily go their way, but in a conference like the Big Ten, which is so competitive, you have to realize Pepperdine, looking at their schedule, this is probably the hardest team you play the entire year, and you learn a lot about yourselves. You learn that, okay, we do have somewhat of a turnover issue, especially in the backcourt, trying to move from left to right or right to left, whatever that may be. And that's things that you can fix up, but you have to play teams like USC who are going to expose those issues truly to realize that you need to fix them.
So Pepperdine squad finished to pick to finish 10th in the West Coast Conference. They finished 10th last season, but of course a brand new squad here as Falk gets the bucket. All new players on this squad, and so if you're voting, you really don't know how to vote for this team, right? And so this could be a team that surprises some people if they're able to continue what was their best start in 7 seasons, 4-1 entering today. But of course, you run into sort of a buzzsaw here, the number 18 team in the country. 8 on the shot clock. Trojans moving it around. Forrest here. Here's Williams the turnaround. Jay Laura Williams getting on the scoreboard.